Breeze Nation, what's good? This is your boy, super producer Joel Holt, back at it again with my guy, Mr. Drew Better. If you knew better, only if you knew better. Who better?
Nobody, bro.
I got it.
Hey, about time. About time. My bad.
Yes, indeed. This is going to be a Friday edition of the Windy City Breeze as we get ready to, by the way, we got the squad in the building.
Yeah.
It's pretty light today.
The mini
it's
squad.
Me and Drew.
It's the mini squad.
Pat had to do an ESPN gig, so that big flex.
Yeah, big black tie affair there.
And the rest of our brethren was not able to make it in today. So it's basically Drew and I as we go with the semi-solo show. So we got a few things coming up today for the show as we bring up some of these. Now I get to do the producing and I got to do all the other stuff. So our topics today are the Bears versus Giants coming up, which will be on Sunday. Are the Bears, if they win, are they contenders? And will the defense actually improve? And then did the Bears do enough at the trade deadline as we get into these topics? So let's go ahead and get into this. Drew, how you doing today, man?
I'm doing not too bad, Friday morning, weekend's upon us. Going to be a little chilly in Chicago over the weekend, but, it's okay. How about you, buddy?
Some real football weather.
Yes, sir. Real football weather.
You know what, man? I'm feeling pretty good, man. We got the Bears are actually kind of winning. The Bulls are winning.
The Bulls went down. They lost one so far. They got a game going on tonight, being Friday night.
Yeah, and I'm happy
and the Hawks are doing good.
Yeah, Chicago's doing. I feel pretty good. I got things going where I'm, getting my business going. I'm very happy about that.
Subtle plug there.
Yes, man. True blue.
I'm surprised you ain't got the shirt on today.
I got to rep the Breeze. I got to do that. So let's get into this first topic, man. It's going to be the Giants. They'll be coming to visit Chicago at Soldier Field. What is the weather supposed to be like? I didn't look it up.
It's supposed to be cold. We put maybe flurries on Sunday.
Oh, we got some actual bear weather coming.
Yeah, it's gonna be a little bit cold out there, but New York got the same deal, so there's not gonna be any kind of a competitive advantage for us or nothing like that. But
yeah. Well, it looks like the Giants kind of have a beat-up, banged-up team anyways, and honestly, this looks like a game that we should win. Hopefully it's not a trap game.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. That unfortunately, we got a big matchup coming on after this next week. I believe it's Philly.
Actually, I can just pull all that information up while we talk about it.
Yeah, I think but I think we got a big game coming up, and I feel that this is a trap game because you got the Giants coming in banged up, like you said. No Malik Neighbors out with the ACL, Scatterbo with the broken ankle, and they do have some, offensive line that's not healthy either. So this is a game, like you said, we should dominate, but who knows? Jackson Dart is coming into the game, playing quite well for a rookie quarterback, and we do not fare well against rookie quarterbacks.
That's not true. I think we can fare well with rookie quarterbacks.
We can, but we usually don't in the past. But these Bears ain't your dad's Bears.
You can beat rookie quarterbacks. We don't do good with really, really good quarterbacks because they end up killing us. After this, the Giants is the Vikings.
Oh, the Vikings. Oh, yeah. Okay, I knew it. Like I said, it was a trap game because we got the Vikings in Minnesota.
In Minnesota, Steelers at home, Eagles at Packers.
Yeah, so we got a tough road. So we need to get this victory.
Yeah. This will put the Bears at 6-3. I mean, I look at it like right now. So based on the injury report, who actually played? Let's see. Based on the injury report, you had Josh Blackwell. He had concussion. He did not practice Thursday. T.J. Edwards did not practice on Thursday. Dominique Robinson did not practice on Thursday, and Joe Tooney did not practice, but it might have been more like rest.
They usually give him a rest on Thursdays anyway.
Kevin Byard was limited. Roshan limited. DJ Moore was limited. Roma Dunze limited. Luther Burden was a full practice. Grady Jarrett was full. Cole Kmet, Kyle Manungai, Amin Agbang-Bamiga, and DeAndre Swift were all full practices today.
Oh, Swift is back?
Yeah, Swift is starting. I got him in my starting lineup for fantasy purposes.
For fantasy purposes?
Yeah, for fantasy purposes.
Oh, that's what's up.
Yeah, so we're looking good in terms of to get. I'm going to be interested to see if
I don't know. What's up yours?
What's up yours?
Yeah, what is up? Sorry about that. Part of me is kind of like, see an establishment of the running game, really seeing if we can maybe have a 1-2 punch with DeAndre Swift as well as with Manungai. And I'm hoping that we can continue that dominance where we maybe get some kinks out. And this is week 10.
Week 10.
So technically, this is kind of where I think we're kind of seeing what team we have. strong offense, shaky defense. We had them losing. Who did we just lose? We just lost Deo, who was I don't know if he was really of an impact like that.
He didn't make really much of an impact after week 1.
Yeah. Now, was it CJ? Who did we get? CJ Gardner.
CJ Gardner. Yeah.
Yeah, like he
made a big impact.
Yeah,
he made a big impact.
He might take another step forward of getting acclimated to this defense. So, I'm expecting the Bears. I mean, they should pull this game out. If they're not winning at home, like this is one of them 31-17 type games right here.
Hopefully so. But you look at my question is are we going to do the 1-2 punch like you said? Are we going to split carries? Has Monangai showed enough to get a lion's share of the carries instead of it basically just being Swift and the Monangai just subbing him out when he needs a breather? I think Monangai showed enough last week where the carry should be split 50-50.
Yeah.
They both can catch the ball out of the backfield. They both can, has good vision when it comes to finding the running lanes.
Yeah.
I really see that with Monangai breakout game last week that Ben Johnson should actually use them both equally.
Yeah. I think it's just a continuation of what they're doing. They're building onto something. Does Caleb had a definite confidence boost making that throw. One, he made that run.
He did.
To set the Bears up. Then he throws the ball. Does Colston Loveland really kind of ascend? Like I'm happy to see Colston had a game because it's like we picked this guy number 10. Does Rome bounce back? Because Rome didn't do. But that you're going to have games like that. Like you can't expect them to always, dominate every week. Sometimes they get phased out of the game.
But you rightly do. I think it's all about matchups. Like it all depends on what's the defense trying to take away. In the last game, they took Rome away, but Rome was real big in the running game. He blocked for the running back. I forget the running back's name because the one he didn't play much, but they blocked for the running back, so he was able to get to the edge and get the touchdown. He blocked for Zacchaeus' touchdown run. Mm-hmm. So they took him out of the passing game, but he was still in the running game. Right. So you're going to see what the Giants defense is going to do. Are they going to try to take out, Rome? Are they going to stack the box to try to take out our running game? So then that'll free up Rome and DJ and Luther and Colston to, have big days. So, that's the thing. That's a good thing about the Bears, as you put, that we're moving forward. We're seeing what the Bears can do. That now that allows us to, if they take one aspect of our offense, we have multiple other ways to score and still move the ball.
What will be interesting to see is like who actually does step up. Do we get a game from Burden this time? But the way they were using, DJ Moore was encouraging. And just some
the
of
Swiss Army knife, bro. The Swiss Army knife was crazy.
Yeah, and seeing like how we're using our personnel. Like I was encouraged to see like offensive line actually blocking. Darnell Wright was destroying.
Did you
guys.
see that pancake that went from right all the way to the left?
He took him all the way from this side. He went from here all the way over there to the other side of the screen.
And pancaked him. He made Jeff Saturday's 3 pancake list. On ESPN, and we've never had a offensive lineman that made that kind of play where it was glorified all over national media.
Man, no, that's what. Yeah, dude. Like just to see
that benching did wonders for him.
Yeah. Well, I think too is just seeing like the offensive line actually get to getting better, making like, I mean, now let's not. What's funny is I'm starting Abdul Carter, who's one of the number 2 pick in the draft. Mm-hmm. He has no sacks. And I'm wondering if he's going to actually get his first sack of the season.
Oh, don't say that. Bears. Don't say that.
Well, they do stupid stuff like that.
They do.
Like if you need a career, you might get it, even though, we'll probably end up winning the game. But it's like,
But we are, like you said, our offensive line has kind of gelled. The last couple weeks, the pre-snap penalties have not been completely gone, but definitely have decreased substantially for us to sustain these drives. Like on Sunday against the Bengals, we didn't have drive killers. We didn't have the drive stallers. They actually played well, taking consideration, Cincinnati's defense is not the greatest, but they still are NFL players that you still have to worry about sacking your quarterback.
Right.
So I take that as an incremental step for this game to see if we can still do the same thing.
I mean, we should beat this team. This team is 2-7 right now, man. Like, there's no real hope for them. This should just be a formality. Jackson Dart. If we can bottle him up, they don't really have any receivers. Like they
got a bunch of mid guys, but
I'm saying the main guys hurt.
I know Neighbors is hurt, but that's why it's any given Sunday. Because you look at what happened last week. You had the Colts. They lost. They was a one loss team. They lost. You just sometimes,
of course,
you just any given Sunday. Sometimes you come across a team that you just have nothing to lose, and they just play well. But that's why I say this is a trap game. You have to be worried about that.
But I don't think Ben Johnson's that type of coach. Like this guy is different. We have a coach.
Yeah, I agree.
He is like the guy, and I think he's not taking anybody lightly. I mean, the fact is we're one of the number one teams in the offense. Like I'm looking at Jackson Dart, for example. I mean, he's got like 1,000 yards in the season, 62% completion. He's got 93 QBR rating. So, I mean, he can throw it, 10 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. He's 19 sacks on the season.
Yeah, but he also has, which goes into our next point, he does have some rushing touchdowns. He definitely moves the ball with his legs, too. But with our defense, like our next topic was, we're worried about the defense. Are they going to improve? Are they going to be the bane of this team, not being able to make the playoffs? Because they still, we still haven't had any – we have very limited pass rush.
Yeah.
We are still kind of weak against the run. So with the Giants being limited offensively with their weaponry, does that now allow our defense to make a stride this week to get some confidence?
Did you know that the Bears are number 1 in interceptions?
No, I didn't know that.
Did you know that the Bears are number 2 in rushing?
Yes.
And what else are we at? We are, in terms of complete passing leaders, the Bears are, where are we in passing?
The offense is top. The offense is top 10.
Number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 in passing.
12 in passing, second in rushing, which I think our overall rank, I think last week we were ranked top 10 like overall. But we are number 1 in takeaways as far as interceptions, but we are like number 30-something or like 20-something in total defense. So that's the point that you got.
Did we move up? I'm trying to see if we moved up in defense. So we
should not have. We just gave up 41 odd points.
Yeah, we're number 1
and 500 yards.
Yeah, combined total tackle. Actually, where are we at?
Go to total defense. In the total defense, we are lacking.
Yeah, no, total defense. I'm trying to see where we are. I had to pull that one up. But the point is, we know our defense is not that great. But this is a 2-7 team. This should be barbecue chicken. We should be able to, beat this team again. So what's your what do you think? What's your predictions for this game?
Yeah, so we're 26 in the NFL in total defense. So
we moved up.
Yeah, I think we were like 29 before.
All right.
But my prediction on there is hopefully the defense can stop this rookie quarterback from making plays with his legs, keeping them in the pocket because they don't have any weapons right now. So make them one-dimensional as far as we can, so we don't have any fluky stuff that goes on.
So what's your score?
Yeah, let me get to it. Stop rushing me.
Hurry up. Let's go.
No, we don't.
We gotta go. We got more topics.
No, we don't. As far as the score of the game, geez Louise. But when we don't got Pat here, like I said, the kids go crazy. But my prediction is I'm going to say, based off last week and the good things we're doing, you and this Tiffany, Joe.
Let's go. What is it? Give me a score.
I'm going 34-21.
Thank you. I got 31-17.
Man,
so we're going to move on to our next. You went through all that build-up.
Yes, we did. Yeah, I did. This is a show where I get to express my feelings.
So our next topic coming up is are the Bears, if the Bears win and go 6-3, are they for real? Like, I was getting beat up a little bit because I was discrediting some of the Bears wins, for example, because I was like, well, they beat some bums, and I don't want to get my hopes up like that because it's like that Ravens game really like disappointed me, and it kind of took like the air out, the wind out of the sails for me a little bit. So it's like, yeah, we could beat these cream puffs, and now we're gonna see what happens against Minnesota. That's a quality opponent.
It is just like the Baltimore was a quality opponent. Baltimore still, with everybody being healthy, with them only missing one of their starters, is still a Super Bowl caliber team. So for us to only lose by
a lot, we lost a lot. That was not.
We didn't get walked. We lost, but we didn't get walked.
We didn't handle them right. We looked like we did against Minnesota, where we went up and then they just pissed the game away.
Exactly. So we didn't get walked. We didn't get trampled. We didn't get a 40-3 loss. It was still competitive. So without that being said, if the Bears win and go 6-3, are they playoff contenders? Yes, they're still playoff contenders. But with the defense and the non-ability to get to the quarterback, we would, to me, rely too much on the turnovers. And so I think we make the playoffs, but I don't think we are serious contenders.
So yeah, I mean, I think you just have to look at them like if they win and go 6-3, who do the Lions and the Green Bay Packers play? They because we need them to lose. In Minnesota, I mean, they're 4-4, they're last in the division. The Lions are playing. Let's pull this up real quick. The Lions are playing. They're playing the Commanders. They're gonna beat them.
Yeah, they're gonna beat the Commanders because Jaden Daniels being hurt. Mariota, I don't have a lot of faith in him. And then Green Bay has to play Philly this week.
Now that one, we want them to definitely beat the brakes off of them because that drops them down.
I would like Philly to Philly matches up against them. I think the Philly lost to them the last year.
So I mean, if that happens, the standings would be in the NFC. The Bears right now, currently for their in the conference,
will be tied with Detroit.
Yeah, in their conference right now, they're 8th as it stands.
Yeah, so with the eighth person in the playoffs,
right? They wouldn't move. So the Lions will go to 6-3 if they beat them, and we go to 6-3.
Yeah, but then the Lions got the breaker because they still have a one in the division, and we still have not.
So if the Niners lose. The Niners could lose, and the Rams would be if the Rams for some reason lose, they'd be 6-3. I think those two actually play each other. One of these guys, yes, the Rams and the Niners play. That's a big game for the NFC conference.
Yeah, the NFC West, it definitely is.
No, for the NFC in general. Like if they lose,
that too.
Well, if the Rams win, they go 7-2. If the Niners win, so the Rams will go 6-3. And which means I don't know if that tiebreaker works. Where they are in the conference, if the Rams lose, we shoot up because right now in the conference they're 1-2. We're 3-2 in the conference. So if we win, go 6-3, and the Rams go 6-3, then the Niners go up to 5th.
But without that being said, do you really consider? I don't consider us on the same level as the Rams right now or Philly, even though we're only a game back from the number one spot in the conference.
I mean, they can.
So you got to look at it like that. Either you say, are they contenders technically, but not really. I don't think the Bears yet with our defense. Our offense is contending.
Our defense is definitely cheeks to a point, and it might be a first-round exit team, which is kind of okay because that's what we're all expecting. We're not expecting them to go to the Super Bowl, but I'm telling you right now, the Bears win and go 6-3. If the Niners win and go 7-3, and the Rams go 6-3, the Rams gonna drop down. We move up.
Yeah,
and the Lions end up moving up, but we're in position here.
So that means, so to you, that means we're contenders.
Matter of fact. No, I think they're no. Do I think they're contenders in terms of like, can they go all the way? No. But I do think it's going to be fun that they make it to the playoffs. But you never know. Like the way that this team is like eking out games and finding ways to win, it's like you don't want to say get your hopes up, but it's like
it's an emotional roller coaster. Just like Sunday,
cardiac freaking Bears.
Yeah, like you said, cardiac. Just like what happened Sunday. You were high, then you were low. Then you were mid, then you were down, and then you swung way back up.
Yeah.
That the expressions on that last second touchdown to Colston, range of emotions. You were basically, when we were watching the game, I was emotionally spent. I had to go home and lay down.
Yeah, you were wore out. It's like, why did we have to go through this? Why did we have to go through this? All this range for y'all to win. You had the game.
Right. You had the game in the bag. You let them out.
You let them off the hook.
You let them off the hook.
So let's go ahead and move to our next topic then. With that being said, we bring up the next topic. Will the Bears' defense improve this year?
I don't think so. I think with the personnel that we have, we are kind of like status quo? Will they hope that we'll get a little breath of new generation with the trade guy Joe Tryon, and then when you got Booker now getting some playing time, you got a healthy Grady Jarrett. You would hope that Montez Sweat continues his sack streak. I think he's at like 2 games in a row he's got a sack in.
Well, does Austin Booker, and now with this Joe Tryon guy, sounds like basically we got him to do pretty much the same thing that Dio's doing, just a rotational guy.
Hopefully a lot better, because Dio basically only had 1 sack, which was game 1. He was getting limited pressures. So you hope this guy, who's on a prove-it 1-year deal, does a lot more than Dio would, so he'll at least be trying to try out for the Bears to give him another contract, or even someone else in the NFL, since he's on the 1-year prove-it deal. So you hope that him coming in transforms the defense, but right now I don't really know if they will improve, because Jalen Johnson's not coming back for another couple weeks. If he does come back, you still got Kyler out. He's still a no-go.
Well, he's a few weeks. The thing is, that's the thing. They actually could improve. Jalen Johnson could end up coming back later this year, right?
Yeah, possibly.
Because Ben Johnson said they need to go 3-1 in this third quarter of the season.
That's a lot, man. Because we got the murderer's row up after this game, which is not a gimme game too. Because Giants defense, we talked about earlier, they aren't pushovers either. You got Abdul Collar, which was like the number 2 pick. I think he's number 2 or number 3.
Number 2.
Their number 2 pick on their defense. They got Brian Burns, the old Carolina guy, who they have some studs on the defensive line. So this is not a pushover game. But you're right that we need to win the games that we're capable of, and hope to compete in the other ones, like you said. But the defense, I'm not sure we're going to improve. Like I said, I think we're going to be status quo.
Yeah, I think I think that they're pretty much kind of what we have to see right now. I'm hoping to see that, later on this year, like I said, if Jalen's able to come back, and then Kyler, because it's not season ending,
right? Because they didn't put him on. They didn't put Jalen Johnson on the IR for the whole remainder of the year. He still has a potential to come back. I think week 12.
So that's not far off. It's only 2 weeks from now. So they could actually improve. They could improve. We have Grady Jarrett starting to play, but I guess it's like, when does that D line actually get that pressure? Because the secondary and the linebackers have been pretty good. They've actually done.
They've been especially the linebackers. The linebackers have been studs. Even when Edwards came back, he was been flying around the ball. Tremaine has been looking way better than he did in the first couple of seasons of his contract. Mm-hmm. So the linebackers have been doing their job and doing it very well. The secondary, with all the injuries, has not been as bad. Nashawn Wright has definitely gave up some really – he's been playing some really bad defense. Yeah. But he was supposed to be our third corner. But now he's been like number 1. Tyreek has been up and down, which has been pretty much his whole career with us. He's been up and down. So – like I said, that's why I stand on mine that we are going to be what we are already. I don't see us doing a lot better. Hopefully we do though.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, like I said, the Giants are not necessarily a threat. I mean, their passing defense, they give up a lot of yards, 2,000 yards there. Rushing, I mean we're just as susceptible to the rushing game. I think number 1 looks like it's Houston. Is it Houston? Yeah. So, no, New England Patriots actually top in terms of rushing yards, yards per game and all that. So, I mean, it would be nice to see our secondary continue to do what we're doing. The thing is, you get 2 more guys back. We're already number 1 in interceptions. So to get 2 more guys in secondary could help. But I would definitely want to see some improvement on that D line if any of the guys can just, really we want to see more sweat, We've all been hoping.
That would be nice.
I guess, they say, wish in one hand and crap in the other, see which one comes first, So we'll see how that plays out. I guess we can move on to our next topic, the last one.
Oh, yeah.
Did the Bears, do enough at the trade deadline?
I think they were in a tough predicament. because you look at what the Jets were offering, what Cincinnati was offering, and their wants based on those two players. They basically wanted second round draft picks. They wanted high draft picks for guys that were, pretty much going to be out the door within the next year or two.
Yeah.
So, and then they were both on contracts. Like you had to pay. You have to pay Hendrickson. You would have to have paid Johnson. So you're not only giving up high draft, draft capital, but then you also have to on the back end pay them top dollar money.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, I understand why Ryan Poles getting his second or third, actually his third choice, which was Tryon, because you don't want to give up that kind of capital in addition to the salary requirements that you're going to have to pay.
Well, that's what I was saying before. Like, they have to overhaul this whole defensive line, honestly, in my opinion.
But they just did, though.
No, they didn't. They just added Grady Jarrett, and they signed Dio with that money.
But they extended Grady, too, so he's on the books for a couple years.
He's not extended. He got signed.
Yeah.
So he just got here last year. He's only really on like a 2-year deal anyways. Like, he's not.
But you can't. But, yeah, I hear what you. But you can't redo the whole line if you just paid two people, because you have to wait at least a year or two for them to, be able to cut them and take the cap hit.
He's only $7 million a year. Like, Grady Jarrett doesn't really kill you.
If you cut him,
his dead cap. I mean, I'm not saying cut him, but I'm just saying like we have to really rethink this D line. Like Montez Sweat to me is not really your anchor of your defensive line. The problem is that he's got $25 million cap hit. Dead cap would be $33 million. Yeah, he won't be a free agent until 28. So we're stuck with Montez.
You stuck with. I think it's an out. I think Pat said it was an out in 2027, which is 20 after 26. So the 26 to 27 year. So after another year, then potentially we can, trade him. Not trade him, but cut him out. But for me, they did the best that they could. But they're going to have to build this in the draft. We're going to have our scouts get a really good deep dive into what's to a star, because that's what you're missing. If you bring in a rookie star end, then you push Dio in the middle, because Javon Dexter is just what Javon Dexter. He's going to be a good rotational player, but he's never going to be that stud we thought he was, and it's taking him in the second round. So you move Dio and Grady and Dexter into the middle. You draft you a stud defensive end in the up-and-coming draft, and then use your other rotational pieces as pass rushing specialists.
So, what's his name? Dexter is only like $1.8 million. Like, he's on his rookie contract, and his contract's over in 2027. So he doesn't hurt you. The thing is that, he ends up becoming depth until we end up moving on. Billings is only $3 million on the cap. Grady Jarrett's $7 million on the cap. Most of our line is the big ticket items is Montez 25, DJ Moore 24, Tremaine at 17, Jonah Jackson 14, Drew Dahlman 13, Cole Kmet at 11, and DeAndre is actually $9 million this year. So in terms of making, what they did at trade deadline.
What do you think about trade deadline? Because you didn't comment on yourself. What did you think? I said they did as much as they could do. What about you? How do you feel about that?
I mean, I didn't think they would do anything crazy, because I said, like, they're not going to try to give up them picks until it's going to mess up your whole team. I think the whole problem is that the Montez Sweat contract screws you on your defensive line, because he's owed a lot of money. So you have to keep him. And the issue is that you still need to draft some interior difference makers. You need some big boys that can come in there. So getting Joe Tryon, Shayinka, I mean, he sounds like he doesn't really move much. I mean, he got 5 sacks in 2 years ago. He was a first-round pick for Tampa Bay. I think he's just a guy. And we'll see how he fits in Dennis Allen's thing. It could be a nice rotational thing.
Right.
I think believing in Austin Booker, and we saw what impact he had last game.
Yeah.
He finally came on. So it might be that it's the addition by subtraction, or by attrition, where, Dio really didn't do that much, and now we bring in Booker, and then we see how this new guy shows up. So, I would have liked to see something else maybe happen at the trade line, but I wasn't expecting them to, because I thought that they only have $6 million left in the cap. this year. They have $7 million in dead cap. The way that they're playing is by next year they'll be Ryan Poles actually has done a pretty freaking great job of fixing this team. Next year they have $12 million in cap space, so they're still kind of locked with this team, and their dead cap is $550,000. Like they're ninth in total with their total cap at $300,000, so $300 million. What's disappointing is that some of these players are not hitting like we wanted them to. Grady Jarrett really hasn't had that impact that we'd like to see, and maybe this is one of them situations where we need them. They've gotten this far with the offense figuring out and a shaky defense, but the ground game is working, and maybe we see some of these guys actually put it on at the second half of the season. But that's to be seen.
I have to disagree with you a little bit on this. I have to say that I agree with you on the point that Poles has did a phenomenal with the cap, because he's got us away from the cap restrictions. We're still able to make some moves. We do have some money. We don't have a lot of dead cap carried on the books, and I do see that we did miss on some things. But that's why I say I'm going to say that I'm going to have more faith in us drafting a defensive stud next year on the 26 draft, because as you said that we're kind of tapped with this team. So unless we, so for me, in my opinion, we're going to have to do more with the draft in addition to what we're doing, because our strength is our secondary, and we signed a lot of our secondary members for long term, so we don't have to worry about that as much. But we still, like you said, we need a stud. You start taking Grady and put him more on as a rotational player, because he didn't play a lot of snaps last week against Cincinnati, even though he was healthy. So you bring in, like this year, Dio is out. So, but next year you signed him, you can't get out of his contract for another year. So next year I'm looking at Javon and Dio being a rotational person in the middle, and then you're still looking at the end, and then you depend on this new guy, Trayon, because he, like I said, he is looking for a contract himself. So he might come in and be a wrecker.
I don't know
that you hopefully is to live up to that first round talent, because he might be like a Leonard Floyd. He might be like a what's that other linebacker, that defensive end that we had that left and end up being great for somebody else.
Who? That left Chicago?
Yeah. We had a defensive end that left, and besides Leonard Floyd, I think we had another guy that left and ended up being decent somewhere else. But you basically like something like that, where they didn't pan out in their first place, and then you end up learning defense, learning another move later on in your career after you left your first team, that allows them to hit some of that first round talent.
So this is the thing. Next year they only have $12 million in cap. They got to make a move. So Trey Henderson is an unrestricted free agent next year coming up. So because they didn't really do that much at the trade deadline, maybe you're able to make a move or two to either restructure contract, or can you bring it? Does Trey Henderson even want to come here, for example? Outside, and he's 31, so you might have 2-3 years with him. Using those draft picks to definitely draft some impact defensive linemen is going to be huge. But technically, I like where the Bears are. What they've done is you got the offense in place.
Yeah.
You signed this offensive lineman. It's starting to gel. You have a lot of offensive talent that came in this year. Like, we have receivers. We don't really need to draft anybody outside of maybe another running back on offense.
No,
we have our tight end. And then now you can focus on defense. Oh, and we need a left tackle. We need a left tackle, and we got to get the rest of our D-line together. The safeties are okay. I mean, Kevin Byard's getting up there, but he's good.
But you're right in a sense. But then you also have to look at, the left tackle is not as a higher priority as the defensive end.
I know. I'm saying, Nick, right now the defensive free agent coming out is Trey Henderson. He's number one right now. He's $29 million. He might want. The market value they're saying is $33 million.
I know. So
after him,
the only way. Let's stop right there. So the only way that you can afford him is if you restructuring.
That's what I said.
DJ's. Yeah. Are you going to restructure DJ's contract? Is he going to allow that? because if he might not want to be restructured. So you gotta look at Poles and his ability to free up more money, because now you have to free up, because you got that $12 million that you're free now. That's your rookies. Some of your rookies that they're going to come in are going to eat up that $12 million.
Yeah.
So to afford trade, you're going to have to restructure other people's contracts, like DJ's contract. You might have to restructure, but you still got to sign Tremaine. Are you re-signing Tremaine? So you have to think about all of that. Is Henderson going to make that much of an impact where you're going to have to restructure and sign all these other individuals at the same time? So yeah you would want him, but does he fit financially is my biggest concern.
Of course. I'm just saying, the only guy, in order for you to get an impact on this D-line, you got to draft really, really well, which has kind of been hit or miss, to be honest with you, when it comes to, I would say, okay, Roma's number one, a top pick. He's working. It sounds like our new rookie here with the first rounder, he's kind of working. The tight end. Clearly, Caleb is starting to pick it up. Who else was our first round picks? Are they actually starting to hit? Because
Darnell's starting to play better.
Darnell's working. So I can say it's the flip of what we were used to. Our first round picks in the past were all mostly busts, and then we would win out in the second, third, fourth rounders.
Yeah.
Poles seems to be shaky in the second, third, the later rounds, and he's actually starting to hit more on his first rounders. So if we can use the first round to get the best rated defensive end or best rated offensive lineman, because coming out next year is just right tackles like Braden Smith from the Colts. He's a right tackle. Jonah Williams from Arizona is available.
We already got right tackles though, because
I'm saying we need a left tackle. So the only tackles available right now is basically right tackles, guards, and Cam Robinson from
You talking about free agents?
Yeah, for next year. And we had probably a chance to sign him, but he went to Cleveland because I think he came from the Jacksonville Jaguars. So
so you're looking to fix in. So you're looking to be a free agent signings instead of the draft. That's what your focus is.
No, I'm saying the information is these are the only guys coming out. So the only one that you might want to take a hit on or a swing at would be Trey Hendrickson, but he's going to come with a big number. So either you restructure to get him, and you still have to draft a player of some type of something, because now like you're seeing Latu Leatu starting to come on as a defensive end. I wanted Jared Verse a couple years ago.
He's looking good still.
Who I wanted. So it's like we got to see, like right now, based on a mock draft, the Bears would be picking at 18. They have us looking at Mateo Ugalele, from an edge from Oregon, 6'5", 270 pounds.
He's not bad out there. I've seen a few of Oregon's games because they play in the Big Ten. He's been balling a little bit.
And maybe there's but see, 4 sacks, 14 tackles. Like, I got to see that it's to be seen for the rest of the college year right now. But the biggest thing is like you got to hit. But it's good to see where the Bears are. Like, they're actually making progress. And they got a couple of holes to fill. It's not like in years past where we had a lot of holes to fill,
Now,
what a hole.
So, like, now it's like you just shore up your offensive line
a little bit,
and the defensive line. We did a lot. Because last year they added 3 guys. I mean, we got Tooney. And that's the funny thing. You don't know what they could do in the offseason. They might get a guy like we got Tooney. We might get a guy on the defensive line that can help out, but we got to get Dennis Allen guys in as we start to phase out the Eberflus guys.
Yeah, that's my thing. Like, I understand Dennis Allen has his particular type of guy, but for me, you got to be flexible as a coach, because everybody has their prototypical idea of a football player: size, strength, speed, and all that good stuff. But I want you to be flexible. I want you to be able to teach somebody with raw skills, no matter what their size is. If they're skilled, you should be able to use them in your defense.
Not necessarily. If you run a 3-4 defense, I need a guy that fits this scheme. If I run this type of defense, I need these type of guys with this type of body build.
Yeah, but that's to me, that goes back to your skill, because if you're 5 or 10 pounds light, doesn't mean you don't have the skill to do the job that you needed to do.
No.
Because yes, it is. Because look at your boy, shaking your head all you want to. Look, I give you a prime example. Your boy that was in the Rams.
Leonard Floyd.
No. The guy that retired a couple years ago. What was his name?
Who, Aaron Donald?
Aaron Donald. He got knocked because of his size. They said he wasn't strong enough to push the pocket because of his size.
He was like the 9th pick.
His
He
knock
went
was
ninth.
no. His knock was that he wasn't big enough and strong enough to be a defensive the tackle.
Not
he
to
came
go
in
ninth.
there, and guess what? He should have went one with his career.
I mean, it's about
So,
fit.
that's my whole point. Just because you don't have the certain metrics doesn't mean you can't excel in a position. That's
No,
all I'm saying.
Every once in a while, you may have a guy that's a difference maker that you put in on the team that doesn't necessarily fit your scheme, right? There's guys that are just all over the place, and you'll draft them to fit. I mean, for example, like Urlacher. To your point, Urlacher came in as he was a safety in college. He wasn't a linebacker. They put him in as an outside linebacker. He didn't do that great. He said, I think it was Barry Minner got hurt. They moved him over to middle linebacker. It ended up working out. And then he's a transcendent type of player. So he fit that big D-line, kind of Dennis Allen line where we talked about Keith Traylor, Ted Washington, Philip Daniels, them big defensive ends, and then they let the linebackers roam. And then when Lovey came, they said, you know what, we can use his speed, and now we turn him into a ranging, basically playing safety. So it does depend on a player in terms of their skill, but for what he needs, I need defensive linemen. You're saying that, for example, your case is that Booker should be out there to play. It's like he feels like, look, if the guy's too little at 240, I can't use him to create the pressure I need him to create. So now it's one thing to get a guy that's more of a hybrid that can just roam around and do stuff, but that's not the case. Booker's a 5th round pick. He should have been 4th rounder because we took the punter. But
to contradict your point, you look at Booker compared to Dio. Dio is his size prototypical end.
yes.
Booker had came in and was way more disruptive than Dio was the whole year.
But I would put a pin on that.
Let me finish. It's not.
I would put a pin in
okay.
that because the only reason why is that you only have so much tape on what a guy can do. He may have surprised because nobody was planning for Booker to come in and do what he did. And, but
he did it the whole preseason.
What you don't
so
want.
there's been tape on him. There was tape on him last year. He was tape on him this preseason.
Not in this Dennis Allen scheme.
It was. He played the whole preseason.
Dennis Allen just got here. And preseason don't mean squat.
Preseason means a whole lot.
No, it does not.
Okay.
Preseason is practice.
We'll agree to disagree. But,
But
that's
preseason
okay.
is practice.
All right, man.
But look, we got to wrap up because we're going to get out here, catch this game that's coming up pretty soon. But good show with the homie Drew here. We appreciate you. Let us know in the chat, guys, what you think what the Bears are going to do against the Giants. Let us know your thoughts, and we appreciate you guys supporting.
I said like, share, and subscribe.
Like, share, and subscribe. Do I have that? I got that somewhere here. Like, share, and subscribe.